I was born during a time of war. I'm ethnically Hmong, part of a ethnic group that lived in the mountains of Laos, and then eventually the Hmong were recruited to serve as the guerrilla unit soldiers for the US CIA, and my father was part of that, those armies, right, for the US. My well-being and my ability to live and survive depended on the adults around me. In that, to survive, my mother took us into the jungle. She literally had to take us and hide us in the jungles for months at a time. And so we made our way to Thailand on foot. So imagine a mother who has 4 small, tiny children having to carry us and walk with us. And then we eventually arrived at the Thai border and was sent to one of the refugee camps. And my father found us, and then we lived in one of those refugee camps in northern Thailand for 3 years. And it eventually was resettled as refugees in Chicago. I also got to really witness my own parents' journey, because by the time I was in 2nd grade, I already spoke more English than they did. I became the child that they took to many kinds of appointments and got to see firsthand how the kinds of choices that they had to make in order for them to survive, to protect us, to also enable conditions for us to be able to pursue what we wanted to as their children. I feel like I got a really fast education in systems and how systems work, and then also community conditions and what enables people to be able to both just function daily, but then also what are the conditions in families and communities that help people to move from not just a place of survival, but a place of being able to fully pursue their aspirations, right? So I carry all of that with me. So I don't see it as, this thing that was terrible that happened to me. I see it as a living truth that really grounds my work, my life's work. I thought I might go into social work, but I got pulled into working on a statewide project for the state of Wisconsin, trying to understand how the state could do a better job of serving survivors and victims of domestic violence. And my job was to kind of help map out the ecosystem of services in the state and to interview and talk and engage the community in trying to find new solutions for serving the community and things like that. And then I realized I know a lot about systems because my own family had to deal with many systems, right? And so that got me really interested in understanding how things became policy, who decides for who, right? And it led me to lots of other things, but also it taught me a lot about my own leadership, and eventually I realized that I was actually pretty good at leading organizations and leading teams to design, solutions and things like that. So that kind of became my life's work in lots of different ways. When I'm working on things, whether it's developing programs or whether it's championing policy or whether it's working with other organizers, that I can call on my own lived experience and help to think about, would that have worked, right? Is the things we're talking about changing? Would it have worked for me at that kind of time, right? So I think, I hope that it has always, I've always viewed it as a strength, but I hope that it has contributed to helping the things that I'm a part of be more effective.